Good evening. We're going to start with lesson 20 in our fraction unit. I can use visual models to add two fractions with related units using the denominators 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 12. We're going to be looking now, guys, at something a little more tricky where their denominators are not alike. So those units we have to change and make common denominators. All right, so let's get started. Use a tape diagram to represent each addend. Decompose one of the tape diagrams to make like units. Then write the complete number sentence. So here where they say like units, that's where we want to make those common denominators. So the first one says 1/3 plus 1/6. So down here I'm going to put 1/3 and then 1/6. And then I'm going to create a tape diagram to show 1/3 and another one that's the same exact size and create 6. Alright, so now I made a tape diagram to represent 1/3. It's cut up into thirds and 1 is shaded in. And then I took this one and I made it into 6 and 1 is shaded in. So now what we want to do is we want to go back up to 1/3 and make it a common denominator, make it the same unit as that 6. Since this is more, these are greater than what's down here, we want to then now cut this up to get it into the 6. Okay, so now let's try to do that. Let's cut this up into 6. So we have this one. Now let's cut that one. Let's do another one. And we have this one. And cut that in. So now what we have no longer 1/3. We have 2 6. Because 2 are colored in and we have made it into 6. And we keep the original unit, which was 1/6, which is now equal to 3/6. We are now allowed to add them because our denominators are the same. The units are the same. So now, if I see 3/6, remember, I'm trying to get you guys into the habit. Study those fractions. See what do we have to do to 3/6 to reduce it, to simplify it. What is the GCF? What is the greatest common factor that 3 and 6 have in common? Well, they have 3 in common. So let's divide the top and the bottom by 3, and we get 1/2. Very good. And let's try letter B now. All right, so I'm going to put a 1/2 down here and 1/4, and I'm going to make a tape diagram to represent a 1/2, and another one down here to represent the same size. This is going to be cut up into 4ths. All right, so here we have 1/2 and 1/4, and we modeled the tape diagram, filling a 1/2 in and filling 1/4 in. But now what we want to do is we want to get a common denominator. We want to get like units. And because we can tell that 2 and the 4, we cannot add these because they're uncommon denominators. Their units are unlike. So what we have to do is get this 1/2 into 4ths. So we are going to now split this up. So here we have this. Let's put this back. We have this section right here, so we're going to make this a cut here. Maybe I should change the color into black so we could see it better. And we get another one right here, another cut. Okay, so now what we have is we have 2/4 is now shaded in. And now since we cut that into 4 parts, we have 2 shaded in. And we're going to keep with our original as 1/4, and 2/4 plus 1/4 equals 3/4. And I always tell you to make sure you study and look at the fraction to see if we can simplify this. But 3 and 4 do not have any common factors. So 3/4 is already in simplest form. All right, so next one we have 1/4 plus 5/12. So I made the tape diagrams. I cut with the first one into 4ths, shaded 1 in, And then I cut the second one into 5/12, cut it up into 12ths and colored in 5. So now what we want to do is we want to change this unit to 12. Change the 4 into a 12, and how we're going to do that is we're going to cut up the 4ths and make it into 12s. So let's start cutting away. Let's come up here. Here's our first cut. And here's our second cut. And gonna come back up here. We have 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So now we've made 12ths from that 1/4. And now we have 3 12ths are shaded in. It's no longer 1/4 anymore. It's shaded into 3 12ths plus keeping 5 12ths the same. It's a like denominator. And we can add them now to equal 8. Oops. Which equals 8 12ths. Again, I'm going to annoy you guys with this. 8 12ths, 8 and 12, can it be reduced, make it simplify? And we can, because what does 8 and 12 share? What GCF, what is the greatest common factor they both have in common? Well, they both have in common 4. So we can divide the top and the bottom by 4, and we get, in the numerator, a 2. 4 goes into 8 twice. 4 goes into 12 3 times. So 1/4 plus 5 12ths, once we get those like denominators, equals 2/3. All right, and our next one is 3/8 plus 1/2. So I'm going to start making my tapes. 3/8. Get my, sorry, looks really bad. Close that up. Get 1/2. All right, and that gets cut up right into 1/2. So I've cut up 3/8, and that tape diagram is cut up into 8s, and I colored in 3. And the second tape diagram, we broke up into 1/2 and colored one of those halves. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that half, that denominator of 2, and get it like 8, okay, to get a common unit. And how we're going to do that is that we are going to cut up the half and make it 8. So how we do that is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So how many do we have colored in? Well, we have 3/8 we're going to leave alone. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's cut up into 8. So it's no longer 1/2, it becomes 4/8. Now 4/8 and 1/2, remember, are equivalent fractions. So now if we do 3/8 plus 4/8, we get 7/8. And I told you, always look at the fraction to see if it can be simplified. And we see a 7 and we see an 8. Guys, there are no factors that 7 and 8 share. So 7/8 is already in simplest form. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. That is from a very brilliant man named Albert Einstein. Okay, the first problem you're going to try tonight, 3/5 plus 7/10. Make those tape diagrams and split it up so you can get a common denominator, common unit, and pick out the answer that's correct. I want to see your work tomorrow. I want to see those tape diagrams tomorrow. 1/6 plus 5/3. Make a tape diagram and bring in your work tomorrow so I can see your work and get that into a common unit, common denominator. And your last one, 1/8 plus 3/4. Tape diagrams and bring in your work tomorrow. Hello, guys. Great work on those problems. This is a pretty good words to live by. Think, get an idea, try it, do it again and again. Keep doing it, and then you might actually become successful. Words to live by, guys. Once again, great work, amazing effort. Keep up the great work. Never give up. Have a wonderful night.